Welcome, guys, to another instalment of the Football Talk Show. My name is Northie. I'm your host today, and Nathan is over on the other screen. We are discussing today whether does Gareth Bale really want to leave Real Madrid? And the reason I ask this question is I see a lot in the news and on social media that he wants to leave. You know, he doesn't want to play for Madrid anymore. He's upset Zidane in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why. I don't know how. But for some reason, he's upset Zidane. I don't know. But anyway. Does he really want to leave? Because all I ever see is he's happy to play golf. He's slating Madrid all over social media. He seems to find it funny. It's a little bit of a game to him.
Well, he has that
and
flag, doesn't he? Wales, Golf, Madrid. He's been pictured with that.
Yeah, so he's kind of taunting him, which I think's a little bit poor. I get he's been treated, badly. I say badly. Has he really been treated badly? He's on 400k a week. You're not being treated badly,
no,
are you? Let's be
honest.
Hell.
If that's treated badly, fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'll have a dose of that. I don't get it. I really don't. And I see it, like I say, I see it across social media, across all the news and papers and so forth. All his interviews. Every international break, he just sits and finds it funny. I'll just sit here and take my 400k a week or whatever it is, 450, 350, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a significant amount of money. And he just seems to, I'll just take it. I'm not bothered. I'll just go with it. And he'll play his golf and he'll sit on the bench. I've seen photos of him kind of chilling out, going sleep. I think was one of them. He got his sunglasses on, going sleep. It's just bizarre. And as a footballer of his quality, let's mention, is it bad or is it poor mentality from him? Who is he being advised by? Because he's just letting his career go down the drain, isn't he?
Well, you got to say it's not like it's. I always think this for footballers. When is enough money enough money? I mean, let's have it right. Gareth Bale could hang his boots up tomorrow and not have to worry about any sort of financial obligation for the rest of his life. He's got enough money. He's a multi-millionaire, and I mean like a serious millionaire, not a couple million. We're probably talking hundreds of millions that guy's got in the bank. So with that in mind, he doesn't need to stay at Real Madrid for the money. And if he has got any ambitions to play, he could walk into Madrid and to see the president tomorrow at Real Madrid and say, you know what, whatever, pay me up. He could come to some arrangement and they'd probably pay him up half of what he's got left on his contract. He'd still probably walk away with about 50 million in the bank from that settlement. And he could just say, okay, terminate my contract and I'll go back to Tottenham or go to Man United. He won't earn the same money, but he'll still earn 150, 200 grand a week. So he's not going to go hungry.
No, exactly.
That comes down to professional pride. Does he actually want to play football anymore, or is he happy just to sit there, soak up the sun in Madrid, play a bit of golf, and then fuck off to Wales every couple of months
and take it?
Yeah, to do 1-2s with Joe Allen. Yeah, just that's it.
1-2s with Joe.
Do a couple 1-2s with Joe Allen, high five Aaron Ramsey, and then go back to Madrid for 6 months. That's all he seems to be bothered about doing.
Yeah, and I think he seems to have the backing of everyone, don't he? Madrid have done this to him and they've done that, free Bale and the rest
Maybe
of it.
As a British player, though, in the British media, he gets that.
Does he want to leave?
That's it.
Because he's quite obviously not pushing hard enough, is he?
No, I mean,
because if
he could get out of it.
You've only got to look at other players.
He could get out. Like we said, he could walk into Real Madrid. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He could say, you know what? Here's a deal. Pay me up for 1 year. I've got 2 years left. Pay me up for 1 year. Just give me 1 year's salary and we'll call it quits. I bet Madrid would do that. Because then it frees...
Oh, yeah,
Bale will get, I don't know, how much, X amount of million for that settlement, and then he'd be a free agent, and he could leave. He could go. I don't think Real Madrid are interested in trying to, recoup a fee for him. I think they just want him off the books.
No, I don't think they would, and I don't think that. But from what I can read from it, and from what I see, I don't think they'd want a great big fee anyway. I think that, like you've just said, they just want him off the books. But I think the problem is Bale wants too much money. He doesn't want to lose that 400 or 350, whatever he's on a week, which is just pure greed. It really
entitled to. They signed the contract. It's Real Madrid. He's entitled to it. But it comes down,
which is fair.
It's what we said. It's professional. But he's already a very rich man. He doesn't need the money. And it comes down, and he could come to England and earn 200 grand a week. So he's not going to go hungry.
Exactly.
So it comes down to professional pride, doesn't it? Do you want to sit on the bench for Real Madrid and waste how old is he now? 30, 31? So he's still got a bit left in the legs, but he's going to start to decline in the next couple of years.
You can't tell me the likes of Spurs, Man United, probably Chelsea at a push, maybe Man City. Arsenal wouldn't. They wouldn't
have him if they could afford it. But if it was financially viable, anyone would get him.
And they would spend, I reckon anyone would pay him in the region of 150 to 200 grand a week. Oh, sorry, Bale, Diddums, mate. You're going to lose 200 grand a week. You know, it's bonkers, isn't it? It's absolute madness. And like you said, yeah, he's well entitled to the money that he should be getting paid, and I've got no qualms with that. But your career's going stagnant, mate. You've not played consistently for the last maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You're at a club where you're absolutely hated. The fans can't stand you. The manager's doesn't like you for whatever reason. Get out of there. Get out of there and come back to the Premier League and play some football and earn 150, 200 grand a week, because that I'm pretty confident most top clubs would pay that.
Oh, we could, especially if they've not got to pay a transfer fee as well, or not a big transfer fee.
Exactly, so get out there. It frustrates me. It really does frustrate me.
He's still a world-class player. He is still a world-class player, and he's just wasted.
I just think the whole Madrid are treating me badly and this that. I think it's all a front. I think he's putting it on. He's putting it on for the media. He's putting it on. He wants everyone to feel sorry for him, when in fact he couldn't care less.
It's hard to feel sorry for a bloke on 400 grand a week. It's hard to feel sorry for someone on 400 grand a week.
No, exactly. But people do, don't they? You see it all across the social media. Free Bale and silly remarks like that. Free Bale. He's on 400 grand a week, for God's sake, and he's playing golf.
Hardly being held captive, getting one slice of bread a day. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It's madness. It really is, and I just think it's poor. I really do think it's poor, and I don't buy into it. I don't buy into it at all, not for 1 minute. And will he go on to? I think by the time he does leave, how long has he got on his contract now?
2022 it expires, so 2 years.
He's got 2 years, and what he says,
he'll be about 32, 33 by the time that expires.
So let's say he's 33. Yeah. 33 years old. You've just lost 2 years. Okay, you're a millionaire. Brilliant. Your career's down.
He's already a millionaire. He doesn't. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need it.
No. And what will you be known for? You just. This might just be me, and it might be a personal thing to me, but I'd want to finish on a high. You want to finish, and you want to retire, and have that reputation that people will remember you for. Why would you want to finish your football career being known as that player that threw his toys out at Madrid and played golf? It doesn't.
Well, I don't know, Dean. I don't understand what's happened between Zidane and Bale. Because obviously Bale's been integral in them winning the Champions Leagues in the past. I mean, the overhead kick against Liverpool, the goal he scored against Atletico Madrid. He's Copa del Rey's leagues. He's been a good servant for them while he was playing. So I don't know why the relationship has just broken down as much as it has. Because clearly Real Madrid, I know they lost Ronaldo and Hazard came in. It's not really happened for Hazard in his first season. Lots of injuries. I mean, I just don't see, something must be seriously wrong, because Bale could still do a very significant job in that Real Madrid team if he was fit and playing. But I just don't know what's happened.
No, I don't. Madrid's a funny club, isn't it? You look at players that made the jump over there from the Premier League, and not just British players. A variety of all sorts. Some just, I think you can either hack it or you can't. And Owen went over there. He was okay, but he kind of flopped. I know Beckham kind of he performed. He made it over there, didn't he? But then you've got is it Luka Jovic? Is that how you pronounce it?
Jovic from Germany, yeah.
Jovic. He's not really done it, has he? He's gone over there and flopped. Hazard's gone over there and flopped. I know he got injured, but
But then you get players like Modric who go over there and win Ballon d'Ors. So it's
it's a funny club, isn't it? You kind of, I think at Madrid you've got to hit the ground running. I mean, you've got to go over there. Their fans, and I don't think we're going to get many Spanish Madrid fans come on here and give us much stick, but their fans, I say, they are the most fickle fans going, aren't they? They really are. Looking at it from an outside point of view.
Anything but winning everything is a failure. God. Anything but winning the league is a failure. Anything but not winning the Champions League is a failure.
We think some of the fans over here are bad, but they're on another level.
Definitely. You could win everything one season. If you don't win anything the next season, you're gone.
And they don't hold back.
No
they make it clear out on match days. It's not just getting the odd abusive tweet like you do over here. They make it clear on match days if you're not performing. There's signs up in the flipping stands. They've got flag. It's a bizarre club. It really is. So I can understand why Bale may want to. He may be being genuine. He probably does want to get out, and we're completely wrong in all of this. But just his whole kind of
demeanour. The way he looks about it,
exactly. The way he puts himself across He just sat laughing.
He seems to be quite happy just to be sat there. And he'll say he's a footballer and he wants to play, but like we said, he doesn't. I did read something that apparently last season there was something in place for him to leave for 100 million, and Madrid blocked it. I don't know how true that is. I don't know what. It doesn't say to a Premier League club. It said it didn't name the club, but I don't know how true that is. But it just stinks of Bale's happy to sit there. He's like, Zidane can say what he wants about me. Madrid fans can say what they want about me. It doesn't really matter. So I'll sit here. I'll still make 400 grand a week, whatever it is, and I'll be quite satisfied living on that for another 2 years, and I'll go back to England.
Yeah, it's just a poor attitude, ain't it? It really is. And you know, he was kind of, when he was over here, he was fantastic, weren't he? He was a likeable player as well, because again, you know, he wasn't the one to go around riling up away fans. He didn't have that kind of personality around him. He was, you know, a likeable player and a very good player. And in all honesty, I'm not a Spurs fan, but I was kind of sad to see him go. To be fair, I was sad to see him go. But you know, you can't turn down Madrid, and he seemed to have an okay start to his career. But for some reason, him and Zidane just don't seem to get on.
It's so hard to understand. I don't get it. Something's happened there. And I think one thing I did remember hearing a few years ago is that when players come to Madrid, obviously there's leaders in the dressing room like Sergio Ramos and Marcelo, and players who have been there for a long time. And they do the players do a lot of activities together. And apparently the language barrier was a bit of a thing for Bale. He never used to really get involved with these clubs. He'd much rather go and play golf by himself or with his agent than go out, you know, for paella with the. And apparently, this never really seemed to be a perfect fit, Madrid and Bale. But that said, on the pitch for the first 4 years he was there, he was superb. I mean, that overkick against Liverpool was probably one of the greatest goals in Real Madrid's history in the Champions League final. It was absolutely sublime. It's insane to think 3 years on he's just sat on the bench with a face mask on, giggling.
I know it is poor. It really is. It's a bit childish in a way, isn't it? You know, you kind of sat laughing and taking your 400 grand, and that kind of, like I said, that pretty much is why we are asking the question: does Bale really want to leave Real Madrid? You know, is it all an act? You know, because I don't think he does. Personally,
well, I just want to know what's happened. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how such a world-class talent could be exiled to the point where he's just not involved at all. And it's not like he's been held hostage by Real Madrid, because how can he be held hostage for 400 grand a week? But surely they can come to some sort of agreement where he can just leave. It's getting ridiculous now. It's been about 2 years. It's getting beyond the joke now.
And it's a waste, isn't it?
Oh, massive waste.
It is a waste. You know, he's a quality player without no doubt. Sorry, you know, and he's just, like you say, he's just sat there. He finds it funny. He's not really having an impact when he does come on. You know, it's just, I just think as a player of his quality should be playing. He shouldn't be sat doing nothing. It's just he should be out on the field. And like you say, I'd love to know what went off. And I'd love to know, because it's got to be. It must be serious for him to be completely just frozen out. But then again, he still plays him, doesn't he? He still does play him from time to time.
So it's like, is it a Bale Zidane issue, or is it a Bale Madrid issue? Is it specifically an issue he has with Zidane, or does it deeper? Is it run deep within the politics of the club? And that's something that, again, I'm not too sure about. But we're just talking about from a very top down surface view. Gareth Bale's a world class talent. He's not getting the game. Just leave. Just leave the club.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, actually, because Zidane being the Madrid legend that he is, you know, is it Zidane? Is it a case of him? Is he freezing Bale out because he wants to keep his reputation within the Madrid kind of, you know, club?
And like we said, Bale, he doesn't seem like a disruptive character. Like, you know, you get poison in the dressing room at certain clubs, bad eggs. He doesn't seem to be that kind of character. Then again, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but everything what happened in England when he goes away with Wales, that doesn't seem to be his shtick, being that kind of disruptive influence. He just kind of sits there on the bench and he just sort of goes on around him.
Speaking of Wales, and I know Bale is world class. There's no doubt about that. He is world class. But as a Welsh player, you must kind of look at, you know, him being selected week in, week out, not week in, week out, but each international duty, and kind of question as to, you know, is this kind of not fair, because I think that's a little bit playground, but, you know, is he getting these call ups on merit, like you say, because he's not playing.
I think he's not playing. I think a player like Bale, he's so far ahead of anyone else from that Wales squad. If he's fit, he has to play. It's not like he's we always get this with England, don't we? Premier League players get called, like players who play for Arsenal get called up to, like when Jack Wilshere did for the Euros and hadn't played a full 90 minutes all season in the Premier League. Like you think, that's because that's Jack Wilshere. Gareth Bale's on a different planet to any other Welsh player. So if Gareth Bale, I understand what you're saying, that you should get picked. The international team should be picked on merit and performances at domestic level, but Gareth Bale is just so far ahead. I think if he's fit, regardless of what's going on at Madrid, if he's fit, he plays 100%.
Which is fair enough, but as a role model, he's not. Is he setting that good image? Because it's not a case of he's not playing. Okay, if he wasn't playing because of whatever reason, and he was still getting picked for Wales, then fair enough. But the whole kind of, like I've said, laughing about it, I'd rather play golf and blah blah. He's not really setting a good image, and I think is it would Giggs? I think he'd probably get slated for it, and the Welsh fans would probably completely rubbish anything that we're saying. But maybe he needs a little bit of a wake up call, because at the moment he's sitting around doing nothing. He's not playing any form of football. He's not training, or he is training, but he's probably not training to his full kind of 100%. Yet he gets picked for the international team every single time, without fail. So as a Welsh player, surely you would be kind of questioning, well, he's not really setting that good standard. He's not setting that good example, is he?
No, I know what you're saying, but I think it comes down to professional pride again. I think for me, Bale, he'll always play for Wales, regardless of his ability. And I think that the argument of attitude, that's why we're sat here sort of questioning his attitude, as a role model, like just to sit on the bench. So we don't know the ins and outs. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But it just seems... As an England fan, when Rooney was kind of, let's say, coming towards the end of his career, so 30, 31, like Bale is, still got something about him, probably one of England's best players, yet he was throwing his toys out at Man United, not playing at all, rather playing golf, yet he was being started every international duty. I don't think the English fans would accept it. I don't think they would. No, they'd be crying out for someone else to come in and take his position. But I think the gap between Rooney and Bale in England and Wales is astronomical. I think I said before.
True. Yeah.
I think Bale's just far too superior talent not to play. I think just from a football fan's point of view as well. Just you want to see him playing football. You want to see him, and it is frustrating when someone sat there earning $400,000 a week doing nothing, seemingly doing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why
it is.
I don't know whose side I'm on. I don't know if Real Madrid have treated him badly and are generally not letting him leave, and I don't know if Bale was just quite happy to sit there and make his money. It's hard. You probably think if Bale was desperate to get out, he could probably get out under some circumstances. If it was purely a footballing decision, he could get out. But obviously the financial implications of it, he's a very rich man, and the rich stay rich by doing things that make them rich, and which for Gareth Bale's case is sitting on the bench for Real Madrid.
I can't see why Madrid wouldn't want to get rid.
Oh no, they would definitely would.
He's not playing.
No.
So he's quite obviously not valued. He's not valued. I could understand if he was playing week in, week out, and he was one of their best players, and they were standing in his way because they didn't want to lose their best player. That happens anywhere, whether it be the Premier League, whether it be the French, German, Spanish, Championship, whatever. That happens everywhere. If you don't want to sell your best players, and 9 times out of 10, you're starting your best players, but he's not playing.
No,
he's not doing any form of football. So why would Madrid stand in his way? And again, this is where it leads back to the question: does Gareth Bale really want to leave Real Madrid? Is he pushing hard enough to leave? I don't think.
Well, how hard would you? I know. It's just how hard would you push when you're on $400,000? It's so hard to say. Yeah, you should play football, because obviously being a footballer is a very privileged job, and it's one that millions of people around the world, billions of people around the world wish they could do. And he's got this opportunity to play football and play at a very high level, but yet he doesn't seem to be overly ambitious to do so anymore. He seems to be more in, and that's probably why it's a lot of frustration to a lot of people, is that he's happy to sit on the bench.
I think it's a sign of the times. I think it's a sign of where football's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've said it before and we'll say it again. There's too much money in football.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever go backwards. I think it's only going to get worse. Players are driven by the money, and rightly so. Rightly so, because let's be honest. If I got a phone call tomorrow, and I'm not going to get a phone call, But if I did, and someone says I want to sign you and I'm going to pay you $100,000 a week, you're going to jump at the chance.
Oh, yeah.
But what I will say, and this bugs me, this really bugs me, is when a player, I'm talking about the opposite way now. So Bale's already on his $400,000 a week. Yeah. But let's just take a few years back, and Madrid are a massive club. So let's just forget that he's gone to Madrid. I'm just talking in general about players moving for bigger money. Okay, so in fact, we could probably use Ben Chilwell as an example. Now, I'm pretty confident that Leicester would have paid $100,000 a week for Ben Chilwell. Yeah. Okay, he's rumoured to be on $190,000 a week at Chelsea, so he's potentially got himself an extra $90,000 a week. You can't tell me that he notices that $90,000 a week. Not a chance. And all people say to me is, yeah, but if you was offered an extra £10 an hour at another job or another company, you take it. Well,
but
yeah,
you'd notice it
because
it makes it
because
at
our
level of income, at the normal normal civilian level of income.
Exactly,
that kind of money makes a difference.
That annoys me because even the pundits fall for it, and Sky Sports News and Jim White on Talkshite, he's just as bad. Oh well, he was offered double his money. Yeah, he was. But you failed to already tell us, Jim, that he was on $100,000 a week. As soon as you bypass, I'm sorry, but if you bypass the $50,000 a week mark, and I'd probably argue that even less, as soon as you bypass that mark, you're a multi-millionaire.
This is a week, you're not a month. Most people get paid a month.
Yeah, this is a week. This is life-changing money. What can you aspire to want to buy when you're breaking that $50,000-$60,000 a week barrier? There's nothing, is there? What more can you do?
You'd have too much money, and you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Of course you would. Exactly. So you're telling me that Bale dropping from $400,000 to $200,000, he's going to notice it?
No.
Not a cat in hell's chance. No. Oh, I'm sorry, Gareth, you might not be able to get yourself an extra Range Rover Sport. Diddums. It don't wash with me at all. And I just think it's really poor now because that's what they always say, don't they? Oh well, he's on an extra $200,000 a week.
And that also jumps in when they always try and tell us, remember that footballers are human too. When you see this thing with Harry Maguire in Greece, we should feel sorry for Harry Maguire. Oh, we should feel sorry for Gareth Bale because the way he's been treated Real Madrid. I don't feel sorry for him. I'd much rather I'd rather be in his position than mine. So what? 100%. So what? Harry Maguire might need to take bodyguards with him to Greece when he goes out. Who gives a shit? He's on $200,000 a week or whatever he's on. It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. Of course it does.
Now, if you're a League Two player,
yeah,
and you're only on 2,000 or 3,000 a week, maybe 5, 10. I don't know. It's still good money. Without
about 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's still more money than what we're on, and we'd happily take it. And you're then offered Premier League standard, and you're offered, let's say, 70 to 80 grand a week because you're a hidden gem, maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I've got no qualms with that. Yes, that jump is significant, and you would notice it. But when you're already a Premier League player and you're already on 50, 60, 70 grand a week, I've got no issues with want to play him for the best clubs. Got no problem with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when these players jump from, let's say, your Man Cities to your Chelseas, or your Chelseas to your Uniteds, or you could even argue Leicester or Wolves, up to your Spurs and so on, it doesn't wash. It's greed, and there is nothing else there. It is pure greed. You can't tell me that you don't want to try and build something at these clubs, because let's be honest, I'm only talking about Leicester and Wolves because we're the two closest at this moment in time that have got potential to build and to break into that mould. If you leave, I'm sorry, but it's greed. There's no other. If the club's failing and it's falling, then fine. But it's pure greed, and it's the same with Bale.
That's why that's the
point I'm trying to get at.
I'm not one of those people who, when a player leaves a club, who's going to be clapping them around the pitch when they come back.
No,
because it's all about the self-interest. And like I said, if Bale leaves Madrid, he's still going to go to a top club. He's still going to go to a Man United, a Chelsea, a Liverpool. Yeah. He's still going to play Champions League football. He's still going to be at the top of European football, at world football. He's still going to get called up for Wales. It's an ambition. I think it's a question of ambition. I believe if he really wanted to get out, he could get out. He might have to take a financial hit, but a hit as in he might not get his 400 grand a week anymore, but he'll still walking on 200 grand a week elsewhere.
It's pure. The top and bottom of it is is greed. There is no other way. There's no other way to describe it. It's pure greed. And when I say, someone will say, yeah, but you're talking out your backside. Of course you'd notice that you've not getting your extra 200 grand a week. Well, no, you wouldn't, because I can assure you now, Bale never checks his bank account.
Probably not.
Why
There's
would
a team
you?
of accountants.
Why would you even check it? Why would you check it? You've got millions in there. You know what I mean? You don't need to double check you've got your tenner in there so you can go and get your Big Mac. You know what I mean? You don't worry you're getting millions. It's just, like I say, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Does Gareth Bale really want to leave Real Madrid? And on that rant,
yeah,
I don't think he does. I really don't think he does. I don't think he's pushing hard enough. I think it's pure greed. He's got no ambition to go and play for another top club. I don't think he wants to test himself anymore. I wouldn't say he's shown his true colours, because I don't think it's who Bale is. I think he's just he's kind of just completely lost all motivation, hasn't it? And I think he's purely now money orientated. Whereas before, I think it was more, like you say, ambition and wanting to be at the very best.
Yeah, I think that's the truth for a lot of footballers. I think Real Madrid have treated him badly for what he's achieved at the club. Maybe they are making things difficult for him to leave, but if he wanted to leave, he could leave. I'm convinced by that. So
yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you there. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. We are the Football Talk Show here on NNN Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. Does Bale really want to leave Real Madrid? Is he in it for the money? Is he just had enough? I don't know. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. We will be uploading regular on all the key talking points within the football across Europe, Premier League, across all leagues. But we will also be back with our score predictions every week. And again, don't hesitate to join in. It's been a pleasure.